Hey everybody, it's Jeff. This is going to be part 17 of the Hobby Boss GMC Bofors truck build in 1/35 scale, dedicated to Jim Steen. We're going to try and get some more work done on the gun today. Thank you for all your comments about my paint. I really appreciate it. I'm really happy with the way that's coming out. And we've got a few more things to do, but we're getting close. I'll show you. Let's go down to the bench and we'll get some more stuff done. And I also, off camera, I got the tires and wheels put together, so I'll show you that too. All right, I'll be right back. Thanks, guys. Here are the tires and wheels. I started putting them together and I thought, well, maybe I'll go ahead and kind of show you what I'm doing. The kit includes one extra tire. So there's no room for this one, but it's an extra, so I went ahead and painted it. Here's the spare, and if you notice, there's a little center disc in there. The kit offers you plastic or photo etch. This one just happens to be the plastic one. They look pretty much identical. This has a lot of ejector pin marks around the inside of the center. This is the side you're going to see when it's mounted on the model. So I took a toothpick and cut it off and glued a little piece of sandpaper to the end of it and just went around inside there sanding those ejector pin marks out. I think I got them all pretty good. But that's the spare. And of course we have two fronts. And the poly cap will go in there. So there's our two fronts, and these are the rears. Okay. And the poly cap will go in there. Here's the inner two pieces of the rear wheels, one of the rear wheels, glued together already. What I did was I ran a piece of tape around this edge here on both of them. There goes a noisy car again. So this doesn't have any paint on it. It's nice and clean. And I did the same thing on these. These are the other half of the rim, and I put tape around here to keep these clear. So I'm not gluing these two together. What I'm doing is I'm gluing this to the inside of the tire and this to the outside of the tire. So I've took some sandpaper and I cleaned this surface off in here. So I'm gluing to that surface in there. And then when I put them all together, there'll be a slight seam around the inside, but there shouldn't be any glue or anything showing. So here's our two wheels, and here's the inner and outer rim. So we can go ahead and put this together real quick. I'm putting my glue, if I can keep this on camera, try not to get my glue over where my parts are. But I've got a strip of plastic in here that is completely clean. There's no paint on it. Okay, just go all the way around for a nice joint. Okay, and then we're going to do the inside first. I can feel it grabbing. Okay, there's that, and then do the same thing with this one. Just have to be real careful and don't put much glue on your brush. Go all the way around. Okay, here, there. Okay, that's got the tires glued to the rims. And then we can come back here and do the same thing again. And just be real careful. I taking my time. So I'm gluing the rim to the tire, not the outer rim to the inner rim. I'm not getting any cement at all on the rim, the green rim there. Okay. Go down just a tiny little bit more. There we go. A little bit of a gap there. There it goes. These were a little bit tight, so I sanded them quite a bit to make these, especially, they were really tight. So I did some sanding before I even did any painting. So we're just gluing, putting the glue on that bare strip on the tire. Okay. And there's just a slight little line around the inside where the parts come together without actually gluing those and then filling that and everything. There's no other way around it. So there's that one all done. I'm going to put the lid on that. So here's our 4 rears and our 2 fronts and our spare. So those are all good to go. All I got to do is put the poly caps in them and put them on when I get to that point. Alright guys, I'll be right back and we'll work on some other stuff. Thanks. Alright, here's where we're at on the gun. This is what I've got made up so far. Okay, and I made this up in the last video. Let me go back to the instructions. Okay, we're on step 15. So all this is done. We put this together, but we have to attach this to the gun. Okay, so let's go back here. And it'll just go here on the side. Pretty simple. And it's keyed, so it'll only go one way. Okay, let me grab my tweezers. Set down over that peg like it's supposed to. There we go. I might just touch a little more glue to it. This gun's going to be really, really delicate by the time it's all finished. Okay, we'll go ahead and let that have a chance to set up. Let's see, I'll set it back over here. Okay, and the next part, we've got to make up this part, H9 twice, and F18, and then this little part here with the F31 and PE23. So we've got, let me find my parts. There's PE23 and F31. And here's the other parts. Okay, so let's get this put together. See if you guys can see okay what I'm kind of doing here. Sorry if I give you motion sickness moving the camera around. Got one more little piece stuck in there. Here we go. There's our 3 pieces for that. So we've got, put that there for a second. These 2 little caps to put on. They just kind of sit there. There's no real key to them. Make sure you get the right side up. Little bolt detail. Okay, there's one. I've got to flip it over and do the other side, but I don't want to pull that part off first. I guess I could hold it in my fingers. I'm not going to be too close to it. Biggest thing was to make sure that I sanded this surface flat so that the part went on without any gaps. Okay, center it up on there. Okay, whoop, and there's that first part of that. Then I've got this, which I need to put a little photo etch on. And I checked this time to make sure it fit before I turn the camera on. Okay, I'm going to use a little more of the black CA. I really like being able to see where I'm putting it. Okay. Several of you commented about the way my paint job came out. I appreciate the comments, I really do. I was very happy with the way the Mr. Color paints performed in the leveling thinners. Really made a difference. Okay, there's that. Okay, that's an empty one. Then we have, I need to find F25 and the crank, which is all right here. So this goes, let's get this out here again. Oops. Don't like leaving that lid loose if I can help it. So let's go this way. Well, several of you have commented about how you like my little vise. And there's one issue with this, and that these balls tend to slip on the clamp. So I put a little piece of sandpaper between them, and that takes care of the problem. And it works just great. No issues at all. Okay, we have F25, which will go here. Get it to sit down, if it will. at it. Okay. Touch of glue. Okay, and then we have, let's see, this is going to be interesting. Once again, the instructions are really vague. Okay. Okay. So we're going to be like this. I need to keep that straight. And this whole thing is going to go down in the hole on here. Glue on there. That actually fits to that part. Glue it there a little bit. Okay. And then we have another crank to go on. And I'm assuming, just looking at the pictures, that they should be even, or close to even. One crank sits a little farther forward than the other one does. Okay. This is getting really, really delicate. Okay. That's got that taken care of. Let me back this out a little. Okay. Then we've got, get my parts together here. Okay. This is F16 and F4. So F16 will go here. Something like that. There we go. Come on. Okay. Not quite sitting flat. I want to make sure that that's lined up with the with this little chute here, because the parts have all got to interact with each other. Looks like we have just a little bit of play. And then this is going to go in here. I'm not sure which way. It looks maybe like this way. Okay. That's not going to work. Okay. Glue in there. Doesn't quite line up, but I guess that'll be all right. We want to make sure that when the gun goes up, those two parts kind of mesh with each other. Yeah, that doesn't really. On the back side here it does, but on the front side it does not. Just trying to make sure that I'm probably going to be leaving the gun in the down position anyway. I'm not sure just how high that should set. Looks like they should be. Okay. Sorry, I'm talking to myself. That just clears. Okay. Off just a tiny bit. The gun has a little flex in it, so you're just going to have to kind of get it close. There goes our furnace. Boy, that is just right there. Okay. It's going to be a really, really fiddly fit. Okay. Yeah, I'm probably going to put that in the travel lock position and not mess with it. Okay. Looks like I've got this a little bit crooked. I don't know if I can do anything with it or not. Probably. Here we go. I'm happy with that. Okay. The next thing we have to do has to do with the sights. And these are going to be really, really delicate. So I'm going to not, they show building them on the gun. Let's see here. We've got this stuff here to put together, but I'm not going to do it on the gun. I'm going to do it off the gun and then add it. I think that would be the safest way to go. Okay, let's see here. I'm going to set this aside. See that just, it moved. That is really, really fiddly. The gun has just enough slack in it that the fit's not real good. Okay, I'm going to set this aside and let it set up, and we can start working on these sights. That's part of the travel lock. Okay, this, I already clipped these together, was curious how they fit. This is F14 and F40. Now they do make a photo etch option for this part. It's right here. But I kind of like the plastic part. It seems to be a little more three-dimensional. So I've got that in place. I'm going to go ahead and put some glue on it. I think it just goes straight. Okay. And then we need to add F30 to this side of it. And then we've got an F15, and those are the rear sights. Some of these parts, well, they kind of interact with other parts, so I'll have to kind of do all this stuff at one time to get everything, to make sure it all fits. That goes there. And this goes over here. Make sure I'm looking at it correctly. Make sure it looks square. Okay. I'm going to let this firm up for a few minutes, and let me get the other parts out here that I need to work with, and then we'll get this all put together here real quick. Okay, so I'll be right back. Thanks. Okay, here's, let me close this window. This is F15 and this is F22. Now F22, they also make a photo etch version, which is here. I think the photo etch version looks a little flat. It's kind of nice that they include it because this part is pretty delicate and it's difficult to clean up. So if you break this one, you still got that one. But I'm going to go ahead and use the plastic one as long as I don't break it. Okay, one thing I noticed, this will go, before I bang it, this will mount right here. Okay, and that's where it'll go on the gun. This tab in the center here was way too wide to fit the slot that they provided there. So I had to scrape that down and narrow it to where it would fit like it's supposed to. Okay, just double check yours before you start putting all these delicate parts on it, and make sure that your tabs and everything all fit. So I'm going to do as much of this as I can off the gun, and then we'll add it later. So here's the this is the right side up, and this will go this way. This will be very delicate. Make sure I'm where I want it. Okay. Whoop. Okay, now to get that at the right angle, this part that we built up before attaches to it. We've got a little hole here and a little hole here that these go in. So let's hopefully this will fit okay. Nope. Maybe I'd be better off working on it laying flat like that. That goes there. And that goes there. Okay, that is pretty delicate. And then let's see if we can get this straight up and down. Seems just a little twisted. Okay. I believe that's kind of the way it goes. That seems to be at an angle. Not sure. Well, that's still soft. We'll play with it a little bit. Oh, I see I do have that in the wrong place. This part down here. Okay. Okay. That looks nice and straight. It is pretty delicate though. Okay. I'm going to let this firm up. Then we've got some photo etch to add to this. So I'll be back in a couple minutes. Thanks, guys. Next we have some real fine little gun sights to go on here. I've got a front one and a rear one. And they go on these little pegs that hopefully didn't get cut off in the cleanup process. They fit fairly snug. The biggest thing is to get them square. About like that. Might have to use a tweezer. Okay. Okay, those look pretty good. Let's see. I'll grab just a little more CA here. I'll have to pick some more of that up just to keep it in reserve. Put a little button of it there. Okay, I'm going to let those firm up, and then we've got two to do on the other side, and that's pretty well going to have the gun sights finished. Okay, I'll be right back. Now, the next thing I have to do is put a gun sight here and here, but I can't clamp this any longer, so I'm just going to have to hold it, I guess. Here they are here. They're identical. They set right in these little places here. They also include some little wing nuts for detail that are going to be really, really tiny. I'll try and put them on probably in the next video. So I don't really want to bump this for now. See, the tricky part's going to be to get these on and keep them straight. Let this firm up a little bit. Okay. Might have to use the tweezers on that one since it's so close. Get it to grab. Hell. Here it is. End up with a mess if I'm not careful. That one's leaning back just a little. Okay, that one's not gonna, I waited too long. That one I think is good. It's best when you're using CA, don't just glue more CA over the CA. Scrape that off and do it again. If you just start putting CA over CA, it's not going to stick very well. Okay, we'll try this again. See how my glue is doing. Glue still looks plenty good. Just didn't have it held in the right angle before. Okay, that's where it goes. Just hold it for a second. Okay. That looks pretty good. Now there's supposed to be two little wing nuts here and two over here for detail. I'll try and put them on later, but boy, that's going to be delicate. Those look pretty darn good. Okay, I'm happy with that now. I'll take a couple of pictures of this so you guys can see kind of where we're at on things. But that's the gun sights made up. And I'll attach them next time. I'm going to try and do those little wing nuts before I attach this. Alright, we're going to call it good now. Don't want this to run too awful long. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you tomorrow. Okay. Have a great day, okay? Bye-bye.